Want to know how you can rank your landscaping business #1 on Google? In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 different strategies that you can use to start ranking your landscaping business higher up in search results in the Google Map business listing. What's going on, you guys? This is Thibeau here with Savant Marketing Agency. And in this video, we're going to be talking all about how you can start ranking yourself higher up in Google search, specifically within the map section, which is called local SEO. We all know that getting more leads and sales for your landscaping business is how you can continue to grow your business. And there's a lot of strategies that you can use, but in this video, I'm going to give you some of the simplest strategies you can use to start seeing some really good growth so you can start taking advantage of getting more leads from Google today. So the first strategy that I want to share with you is to get your foundation set up correctly. So #1 is making sure you actually have something called a Google Business Profile set up. This is a free listing that Google will provide for any local business, and you can set yourself up with one at business.google.com if you have not already. Once you set that up, you're going to have to verify your listing. If your business listing isn't verified, it's not going to show up on Google. So you definitely want to make sure that it's verified. And typically the best way to do this is to do a call with a Google rep and actually show them some documentation for your business. This could be articles of incorporation, insurance documents. If you have a physical office, like showing the office that you're in and making sure that, hey, we're a legitimate business. The reason that Google verifies these business listings is people have taken advantage of this in the past and have tried to set up dozens of different locations to try and game the system. So verification has gotten a little bit harder lately. So you are going to have to do a call with a rep or submit your documents. And I recommend to submit them as many documents as you can to really build a case that, you're a legitimate company and you are located at this area. Once you do that, what you want to do is also set yourself up with a powerful measurement tool for local SEO. Now, there's a bunch of different tools out there that you can use. What we use in our agency, Savant Marketing, is Local Falcon. This is a simple tool that is going to analyze a business listing and see where it's ranking in comparison to competitors. So using a powerful tool like this is important because you're not going to be able to rank your business listing if you don't know where you are, right? Anytime that you're trying to push yourself, whether it's a professional athlete or anything, you need to have some kind of tool of measuring success. So I recommend to have a local SEO measuring tool so you can do a competitor analysis and see kind of like where you sit based off of your competitors and where you're currently ranking, right? So you want to set yourself up with all of that. And once you have the foundations in place to start ranking your business. So let's talk about that. So the second strategy is going to be optimizing your Google Business Profile. Now, there is a lot of different things that you can fill out on your business profile, and you want to fill out all of it, okay? So I'm talking, you want to put in your name of your business, you want to put in all the details, your address, phone number, you want to add as many pictures as you can about the business, you want to add a description of your company. You also want to make sure that you're selecting the right categories, okay? So you want to fill out all of that information on your Google Business Profile. And what this is going to do is it's going to signal to Google that you are a trustworthy business, and it's going to want to show your business listing to more people because you've provided it more data about your company, okay? So you definitely want to add as much as you possibly can in this optimization, okay? So on this business listing, fill out as many things as you can. Your services, any Q&As about your business. There's a section where you can put in questions that people commonly ask. The more that you fill it out and the more options you select, it is definitely going to make Google rank you higher because you're providing it with more information, right? The third thing is that you can actually post from your business listing. Not a lot of people know this, but just like Instagram or Facebook, your Google Business Profile has the ability to allow you to make posts from it. Now, what we recommend to do is post around 2 to 3 times per week from your Google Business listing, right? So these would be pictures of your work, and you can kind of write a little description about what you're up to. It could be a picture of your team. You want to show real photos of what you're doing, and you want to write up a description of what they're looking at in that photo. And what I would recommend is in those posts, you want to use specific keywords of like what you're trying to rank for, right? So let's say that you're trying to rank for custom landscape design plus your city, right? So in those posts, you're going to put custom landscape design and your city. So you could say like, hey, we completed this job out in this neighborhood and we completed a custom landscape design. So you want to use those keywords in your posts that you're doing weekly there. I should also mention as well, when you're optimizing your business listing on Google, you want to make sure that those keywords are in there as well in the description and where you can. You don't want to like overdo this to the point where it's obnoxious, because that might flag anything to Google and you're going to seem like a spammer. So do it tastefully, but this is definitely going to help you. All right, the fourth strategy that I want to talk to you about here is going to be reviews. Reviews are so important when it comes to your Google business listing and ranking it higher up in search results. The more reviews that you can get and the better quality those reviews are, this is going to signal to Google that you're a real business that's trustworthy, and it's going to want to show it more often, right? So obviously you want as many 5-star reviews as possible. So the number of reviews is very important, right? That's why I was saying the competitor analysis in the beginning is important to do, because let's say that all your competitors have 100 5-star reviews and you have 27, you're going to need to get more reviews if you realistically want to rank number one. So just because you want to be number one doesn't mean that you deserve it, because you're going to need to get all those reviews to be able to compete with all these other guys, right? So definitely want to get a high number of reviews. You want to mitigate any negative reviews. So if you have some negative reviews, you are definitely going to need to get more positive ones in order to outrank those ones, right? You should be sitting at like a 4.9 or 5-star rating overall. Anything less than that, and it is hurting your ranking, right? So you want to make sure that you're getting as many reviews as possible. You also want to make sure that you're getting consistent reviews. So just because you have 300 reviews, but maybe that was 2 years ago and now you're not getting consistent reviews every other week, well, then that's also not going to help you very much. So you want to be consistent with those reviews as well. Some little tips here is that you also, like, if a customer can leave you a review, you want to tell them certain things that's going to help you in your review. So for example, if they attach a picture with the review that they leave you, that is going to help rank you up higher in Google search results, because the picture has data attached to it and it just seems more believable, right? So pictures on reviews is going to help a lot. And if the customer can actually use the keyword for what you're ranking for, let's say it's custom landscape design, if they say like, hey, I hired Sally and she helped me with my custom landscape design, that's going to help because that keyword now is in the review, right? Same thing goes for your replies. You should be replying to all of your reviews. And in your reply, you can actually say the keywords and the city. This is definitely going to help you rank higher on Google. So now that you got the reviews going, the next thing you want to do is make sure that you have something called NAP consistency across the board. Basically what NAP stands for is name, address, and phone number. So across the internet, you want to make sure that the name of your business, the address of your business, and the phone number are the exact same across the entire internet. So if you have a different phone number on Facebook than you do on BBB or some of these other places, or if your website has a different phone number than some of your social media accounts or address or whatever, that's going to be a problem, because Google wants to see consistency in data, and anything that doesn't fall within that consistency, it's going to confuse Google, and confusion's bad. We want Google to be very, very clear on who you are, where you're located, and make it very obvious to them so that they can show it to the right people. So you want to make sure that all the phone numbers and addresses and everything on all these listings is the same. If it's not, you want to go into those accounts and change it to the same across the board. Some of you will ask, hey, if I move addresses, like a business office, if I move, or if I change my phone number, is that going to negatively affect my Google listing? Yes, it is going to, because you are changing that data and Google doesn't like the that kind of like information to change often, right? So I definitely recommend to get married to your business address and your phone number and these details, because You don't want that to change down the line, right? So very, very important. Anything that's like outside of those, you want to go back and change them to make sure that it's consistent across the board. The next strategy here, number 6, is going to be now adding more of those listings. So making sure that you have the consistency, but now what you want to do is start adding more and more information online about your name, your address, and your phone number, and your overall business. So you're going to want to start building up what's called citations and backlinks to be able to point back and say, hey, this is some data about our company. So some examples of this would be having like a Yelp listing or a BBB listing. You don't need to invest in the actual programs of like BBB accreditation or Yelp, like their advertising program, but having a listing on those websites is valuable because it's a data sample for Google to look at, right? This is also going to help you with things like ChatGPT because it looks at Yellow Pages and Yelp and Reddit and BBB, Facebook, and all these social media accounts and everything. If you have a nice data set with consistent information about your business across the board, and those data sets are growing quarterly, then that is going to be a very good sign to Google's algorithm. For example, for our clients on a quarterly basis, we typically will add around 30 to 40 high quality citations and backlinks to their business so that Google can consistently see that we're adding new citations and information about their company that's the same across the board. Now, the final tip that I'm going to have for you here is going to be your website. You want to make sure that your website is optimized for SEO. So some things that you want to look at is the headline in your website should have the keyword and the city that you're located in. This is going to signal to Google, hey, this is the service, this is the city. It's going to make it obvious for Google, and that's going to help you rank higher in listings, right? Also, what you want to do is make sure that you have a map on your website, like a plugin that shows the physical location of your address. You can put that at the bottom of your website. That's also going to help Google a lot because it's going to be able to see, hey, they're located here, and this listing is saying they're located here, and it's going to trust it more, right? So that's another thing that you can do. Again, also making sure the phone number is the same on the website compared to your business listing, the address, the hours, you get the point, right? So you want to make sure that your website has the information on it that's also on the business listing, and that's going to make sure that they're talking to each other properly. It's going to be like, oh, this is consistent, it must be true. Some other tricks that you can do as well that will help is to have like different pages on your website for different service areas. So I would recommend to make a page on your website that talks about all the service areas that you service. And then you can have it linked to like separate pages, little neighborhoods in your service area. That's also going to help Google a lot because it's going to see on your business listing all the neighborhoods that you filled out that you said you service. So then it'll also see that on the website too. And that's definitely going to help rank you up higher as well. So guys, I hope you found these 7 different strategies helpful. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe. I would really appreciate it so we can bring more great videos like this to more landscapers and help everyone grow. And if you're watching this right now and you're looking for an expert marketing team to come into your landscaping business to really help you guys take your online marketing to the next level, my link is in the description below. You can book a call with our team. We'd be happy to speak with you. All right, guys, I'll see you on my next video.